Today we are going to do the first story of the book Flamingo, the last lesson by French writer Alphonse Daudet. This story, you can say, a wartime story. So here you will find a socio-economic effect of war on the lives of common people, those who are not fighting the war face to face, but they are suffering like others. So the story starts with a student named French. He is going hurriedly to his school, and he is doing so because he is late today, and he is very fearful of his teacher, Mr. Hamel, who used to beat those students who were not doing their homework or those who were late. Unfortunately, French has not done both the things. There was a homework of learning the participles, that also he did not do. Another, he is late. When he is coming, weather is very nice, but he can just visualize only the kind of games he could play if he would not have been going to school. But he knew very well he was required to be there in school. So he is going, and when he enters in the school, he finds in the class it is completely pin drop silence. And there was one more unusual kind of thing, and that was Mr. Hamel putting on a very nice dress that he used to wear when there was any inspection or any ceremony. So a kind of ceremonial dress he was putting on. A very good hat, and overcoat. He was typically like other schoolmasters, generally putting on simple clothes. But he came to know that there were elderly people of the village who were also sitting at the back of the class, and they were there to pay respect for the man who was there in the village teaching them French. And Mr. Hamel did not take so long telling everybody that he was told to leave the place. And German authorities communicated him that from next day onward a German teacher would teach in the school German to the students. So we can say that was his last lesson, as the title is there. So in this last class, he is quite regretful. Regretful in the sense he is feeling that he did not do his duty as a master so well, because many times he found he was making students to water the plants. Sometime when he went for fishing, he just took leave, and so on. On the other hand, he is also telling parents of the students that they were also to be blamed, because most of the time they also did not pay attention to send their wards regularly to school. But he is very pitiful to the students, because now there is nothing that he could do. So that is the case. And he suddenly felt how beautiful, how logical his mother tongue French was. This question also comes in the exams. Chauvinistic feelings of language. Here, that is expressed by Mr. Hamel, who was French teacher. This happens with most of the people. They love their mother tongue, they love their country over others, and they say, my language is best. My language is most logical, most scientific, most beautiful. Same way he is feeling. This question comes in exam. Chauvinistic feelings of Mr. Hamel about French. Then there is one question that we had done just now. How did Mr. Hamel react to his work as a teacher? That also you can write. He blamed himself and he also told parents that they were also responsible because they also did not send the students regularly, and two reasons. Sometimes he just told the students to water the plants of his garden. Sometimes he told students to do other things. Many times when he wanted to go for fishing, he took leave. So that also comes. Then there is one question that comes about character of French. Here we find French is a kind of boy who is having fertile imagination. When Mr. Hamel was telling that Germans, they had imposed German on French people. French is looking at the pigeons who were there in the class, whether the Germans would impose German on these pigeons also. So that also comes sometime. These questions is also comes. To explain sometime in exam for 1 mark or 3 marks, that he was so imaginative, highly imaginative, that he was feeling that not only the Germans would impose German on French people, they can do so on birds also, like pigeons. Then there is a question that comes about Mr. Hamel as a very strict teacher. He is the main character of the story. So in this story you can say he was a very strict teacher. He was teaching in Alsace and Lorraine. That was a border area between France and Germany. And Germany had taken that area under control, and these people were told to follow what German generals they were commanding. And now there was an order then that Germans would be taught in the school of Alsace and Lorraine, the place this story is set. And French is very fearful of Mr. Hamel because he used to beat with his ruler. So he was quite a bit dreadful. sometimes for not doing homework, sometimes for not telling what he was asking, sometimes for coming late. So this is the impression of little boy French about his German teacher. Moreover, we come to know he is a person with a kind heart. He is feeling pitiful of all the students, those who were not able to read and write their mother tongue. And now, on the last day, he wanted to give as much as he could do. So, now you got this story about the important questions. So, this is the story of last lesson by Alphonse Daudet, where the writer himself is narrating. It could be his own experience when he was very small. Thank you. Have a nice day.